have to start speaking to our communities, to our families, about these subjects that seem like they're hard to bring up. You know, why is that we can't talk about our education and why our community is so poor in relation to these other communities which have, you know, beautiful landscaping, that get a new shopping center built every day with organic foods, that get stadiums built when there's people on the streets homeless, starving, that we see on a daily basis, and nothing's being done for them. You know, we're living in a society that has empty homes that banks sit on for months, even years. I actually did some recent organizing in St. Petersburg, Florida, and we were organizing in the African community there. And when you walk down the streets of a block and you knock on someone's door and offer them our Burning Spear newspaper and say, you know, we're talking about issues of economic development, education, public safety, and you really try and get them involved in this process, and then you start walking over to their neighbor's house and they'll tell you no one's lived in that house for 5-10 years, and so don't go to this house, that house, that house, and that house. They'll name 6 houses on one block that have not been occupied, yet their homeless rate is over 60%. And so you really have to look at that, and you have to analyze these numbers. You have to analyze in relation to how we treat other humans, you know, how we treat our own people, and why is it that we can have these empty houses sitting in our community, but we can't put 2 and 2 together and put these homeless people into these houses so that they have a shelter over their heads at night. Why we have to have these grocery stores that are throwing out tons and tons of expired food on a daily basis, but we got people starving to death in the streets. And so if you don't bring up these issues just because they're uncomfortable, just because you don't want to talk about them or discuss them, then you are effectively hurting your community. Just because you are silent does not mean you're not involved in this struggle. And so that is why you have to be involved in an organization. That is why you have to be involved in revolutionary struggle. That's why you have to be involved in analysis, historical analysis, criticism of yourself, criticism of your community, and constructively how to change that situation. And we say, this is the only way you can do it, is through these organizations. And these organizations are not just for Africans. These organizations are for all people, because everyone has a necessity to participate in the human rights struggle and the struggle for humanity, because this current situation that we're living in is not for humanity. But if you would like to be for humanity, and if you would like to be a part of this struggle and this organization, I would really love to see you at that InPDUM table right there. That's our Burning Spear agent, Joshua Joseph. Raise your hand high, and we'll be selling our literature. We'll be selling our Burning Spear newspaper, which we produce on a monthly basis, telling you not only local news, but international news, and putting it in perspective so that we don't have this isolated view of, oh, this is only happening in our community. This is happening all over the world, and it's something that we need to address. It's something that we need to unite around. And so I hope to see you guys over there, and thank you for your time.